See, we need to understand a few things very clearly. If we want to feel proud ourselves that, okay, we have spent or we are spending life which we feel satisfied and proud, our family, friends, they feel good about you. So we need to understand one thing very clearly. And most importantly, that the God is happy with you, he's satisfied, and you feel that, okay, he's satisfied that I'm spending a life, right, which he likes. So one thing which we need to make sure, and we need to be very clear on that, it's good to be a philosopher, it's good to be a scholar, it's good to talk all about everything, but first we need to get rich. We need to have a financial stability. We need to be wealthy. It's very important, right? First to be rich, be financially stable, then it's good to be a philosopher. So so all we need to do is that we need to work at least 16 hours a day. We need to study and work, research, analyze. We need to play around with the data and the information, and we need to be in that kind of mode for 14 to 16 hours a day. We cannot just keep on sleeping for 8 to 10 hours, then roam around over here and there, talk, do gossips, talk good, be worried, talk about wishes. This is going to keep us poor. Very simple. We have to work. It's very straight. We have to reduce the noises. We have to focus on the signals, and the signals is straightforward. What we decide to do in next 18 to 24 hours, we have to focus on that. Number two, there's a conclusion. It was probably by the Harvard University or Cambridge, or I don't remember, Oxford. The conclusion was simple. The formula is simple to be financially strong. 85% of the financial growth is because of the communication, art of negotiation, personality, and 15% technology is involved. So 85% is dependent on the communication, negotiation, and the personality. Now, when we say communication, we cannot communicate if we do not have data in our head. And now to have a data in our head, we need to explore and work through information. This means that we have to study, we have to surround ourselves with the right content. That's when we can have a communication. And personality is not, it's not the attire. Honestly, you know what? People, those who are focused on their attires, on their outfits, are actually, I say them, they're complex. They are probably, they want to be the center of the attention. They're in the state of complexity. Personality is that you are a failure and you feel it and you want to do something and you take an action. That's the personality. I don't have money. I'm poor. I'm not financially strong. I'm dependent. I am compromised. I feel bad about it. I go after it. I fix it. I have to ask probably help from certain people because I'm weak. I feel it bad. That's personality, right? So you have to be sovereign. You yourself have to be sovereign. You cannot just lay around, be a failure, right? And you do not feel about it, or if you even feel you do not want to do anything, right? That's not a person that God love to say that, okay, this is my man. God doesn't love weak people. So let me come to the point. It's important for every one of us, especially people, especially the generation which is turning 16, 18, and 20, they have to have a financial acumen. They need to have a financial literacy. They need to understand the difference between money and wealth. They need to have skill set. They need to have analytical capabilities. This is going to come when you will surround yourself with right ideals, will surround yourself with the right content. And then you need to have certain skill set. I honestly, I tell you, simple, just a basic level. If we don't know how to work on Microsoft Office, we are not tech savvy, right? We cannot do anything. We have to learn some tools. We have to learn how to work on Microsoft Office. We have to learn how to work on Microsoft Word, Access, Excel. We need to have the capability to analyze the data, the big data. We need to have a capability to work on large data samples to analyze what is the problem and what can be the solution. So we need to be competent, to be honest. We need to be competent. We just cannot talk around, do shit crap kind of gossips. We don't know how to work on computers. We don't know how to play with the tools. We don't know how to find the answers. We don't know which group or which peer we need to be in. We don't know what is debit, what is credit, what is balance sheet, what is profit, what is loss. We don't know what is art of sales, communication. We don't know how to write a letter, an email. These are the basic things, and this is where we are lacking at the moment. And our attention to detail is so weak that we cannot stick. We have to be persistent. We have to develop the attention to details capability that, okay, we analyzed a big chunk of data, right? And we figure out where's the problem. So we have to be financially strong. If we are not financially strong, we're compromised human. God doesn't want a compromised human. We need to have money in our pockets, in our bank account, right? We need to drive good cars. So this is very important to understand that every person need to be rich before philosopher or before he try to look good because of their attire or the clothes. You don't have money, you stink. You do not have money, you stink. Trust me, right? And you are like in a complex. You want to be a part of center, to be liked by everyone. You know what kind of piece of shit you are? This kind of personality is a piece of shit. That's it. You don't have money, you don't have confidence, you don't have money, you don't have any morality, you don't have money, you're compromised, you do not have money, you're not free, there's no freedom. You do not have money, you're not wealthy, you're not financially stable, you're not financially literate. You are actually kind of a slave. That's all. So it's important. Work 16 hours, study, analyze data, look at the news, try to analyze, find out how to make money, be focused, invest, learn how the financial education work, and be rich. That's the most important thing at the moment.